Sup everyone, Casual Talk here. Today, I'm going to be talking about why I still yearn and value social connection or social connections, despite not having real friends or just having any friends in general. So many people use the word friend blatantly, like they just say just to say because they're in the mood, they're in the moment, they're having a good time, they're enjoying the conversation. They call you a nice friend. Oh, you're a good friend. But their actions don't align up to what an actual friend is. I can't blame them if they're busy. They got a lot going on in their life. But I take people's words where they loosely call me a good friend. I take it with a grain of salt. The reason being is that friendship or friendships in general, it's another form of a relationship where you have to be committed. You're not obligated. It's just supposed to be a natural connection where you could understand each other, be there for one another like a friend. It's platonic, it's mutual, no strings attached. It's just straight up friends where I got your back, you're my bud, you're my brother, you're my sister. And having a good friend today, especially of the same sex, is hard to come by, but being of the opposite sex, it's even a lot harder because let's just be real. It is extremely rare and difficult for a man and a woman to even be friends unless they grew up with each other or somehow with them being married or one partner being married, they're not attracted to that person and both of them mutually agree with just being good friends. They still date other people outside of their friendship. They don't date each other. They don't see each other in a sexual matter. They just see each other as friends. And it's possible to accomplish if both parties sets boundaries and respect for each other. Where I'm getting at with this? Well, in today's generation, especially for me, I've noticed that a lot of people today are very biased. Uh, they have racial preferences. They have their own likes and things that they like, which are superficial before becoming friends with anybody. And yes, it's actually harsh, but there are people exactly like this. I've had experiences where people just wanted to be my friend or my so-called friends or get to know me because of their racial preference. Like they prefer to be around black people. They didn't like their own. And it made me felt somehow like you're only seeing me for my race, for my skin, for how God made me out to be born as, okay? And that's very low, if you ask me. I value understanding and genuine natural connections, not something where it's forced, something where you could actually relate to a lot of things. You share a connection. You could relate to a lot of topics. You share a lot of interests. You have the same values, common grounds. It's just like another form of a relationship, but it's platonic and it's different. Some guys could be mad about being in the friend zone by a chick, But at the exact same time, don't give her boyfriend or even husband energy. I don't believe in the boyfriend thing, but don't give her husband energy if she's expecting you to be a friend. Then treat her as such. I believe friendships has a limit to how much you do for each other, okay? Especially of the same sex. And to me, in my own experience, the last male friend that I actually had, it was genuine until it changed. He changed from better to worse. He wanted to be a F-boy, a player. He didn't see eye to eye with me anymore, and I tried helping him. I gave him advice. He didn't like the advice. And he just did his own thing and cut me off. This is a few years ago now. A few years back. That was the last male friend I had, and I may have female coworkers. It made me Working with them made me understand how women operate more on a daily basis. And this is coming from a married guy. It taught me and then taught me to understand my wife a lot better and women a lot better. Working with female coworkers. Depending on the circumstances, I would take a friend as it is. If you're a single guy, you have some female friends, hey, make it worthwhile for the right reasons, okay? I understand people are going to be people and do what they want to do. And the reason why I said that is that we're still in the flesh. And based off my own belief in the Bible, I go by the code of God. I go by God's code, okay? The red-pilled truth, straight from the truth, straight from biblical principles, okay? And just truth be told, I'm to the point in my life where, like I said before, I don't push or go out of my way to beg people to be my friend and even talk to me and have a simple conversation. I don't. Too many times, people has been fake, wanting to use me, have nothing to do with me. And there's times where you have an actual genuine conversation with someone. They're like, oh, this person is pretty cool. We should hang out sometime. Next thing you know, you don't hear from them. Especially coworkers, people you work with. You think you're cool with them. Next thing you know, they switch up and they act funny on you. I don't got the time for that flip-flop nonsense. People feels this way one day and the next day they're feeling a different way. Then nah, keep that same energy. I'm to the point in my life where I'm open to friends, but only to the actual right friend who is a genuine friend and an actual good person. I don't know if it's intentional or unintentional for people to leave, come and go, stop talking to you, stop responding to you. And we're living in a time where ghosting is normal on top of that. This is why having a good friend today is hard to come by, because the contributors is also contributing into people having false hope. Hurt people is going to hurt others. There's a saying that's like that. Hurt people hurt others. And that's the reason why that hurt is spreading like a disease. More people are not trusting one another. More people are users, backstabbers, liars. It's a mess. People could talk about the dating market. What about the friendship market, the connection market, the market of connecting with one another? Social media has brainwashed us to believe that on social media, all from that, you could always find something better. And that's not always the case. Why the suicide rate is so high for men more than women? There's not many support groups for men. There's not many shelters for men. There's not many awarenesses and groups, social media platforms for men to get together like that. There's not many. It's pathetic and sad that there are men who are now turning to OnlyFans to yearn some type of companionship and connection from another woman, but they're going about it wrong because they're still making it about sex. Then at that point, you know what some people would say that are of the world? You might as well go on pornography and then just fap away. You might as well just go on porn. And I don't even agree on pornography. Pornography is also the destruction of a man's sexuality, and especially for women, because it objectifies women to place their sexuality on a higher pedestal to where they could use, and many of them could use that as control over men. And men, a lot of dudes out there who are simps, falls for this, and they allow the vagina, a woman's looks and sex, they allow that to control them and belittle them and become weak on the knees to where they're like, yes, master. Having genuine conversations, to me, it's hard to come by. I have a few coworkers who I'm cool with, and it's far but none. A lot of the coworkers that I'm currently working with now at my job, and this is a dead-end job, right? I could work with you, be cordial, but at the end of the day, I don't hang out with none of them. None of them are my so-called friend. And some of them are cool. Some of them are really nice people. Some of them had my back, especially when there was trouble and some drama at the job, right? But at the end of the day, I can only take friendship or loyalty with a grain of salt. I've been hurt too many times, deceived, lied to. This is why so many people, such as myself, people are calling cold. No, I'm just tired of the foolishness. So I am going to be off the grid. I'm going to set myself apart from the ways of the world. That is the ways of the world, the ways of man. The ways of man likes to play games. Why do you think Satan is the author of confusion? Majority of this world carries sin with them. They carry part of the devil because they have those values in their lives. And they show it by how they treat other people. I know I don't fit in certain circles. I know I don't fit in certain social cliques, but I'd rather be myself and be alone than suffocate and be fake just to impress other people and be in a fake friendship. It's not genuine because after a while, people catch on. People smell a fake far away. Other people will find out, and it's not worth it. It's not worth placing yourself in a position where you have to be somebody or something that you're not just so you could have a social connection, because you're not being yourself. You're being fake. It's not how you are or who you are. It's just not. It's like you're putting on a mask and you're suffocating, and eventually it's going to come out. Why stress yourself? Because the juice isn't always worth the squeeze. to put yourself through that stress and that misery. Having a good friend is far from in between. And I just wanted to make this video to point this out. Having a good friend today is very hard to come by, especially of the opposite sex. That is extremely rare, the older you get as well, especially. I just don't hear it. I don't hear it. I have not one true, genuine friend since my last friendship went cold turkey. Since my last friendship went cold turkey from a so-called close friend of mine. So I'm to the point where I look at my coworkers as nothing but coworkers, acquaintances, and people I just know and I work with, and that's it. That's the physical social interactions I'm going to have. Outside of my wife, my marriage, and with my kids, family, that's the closest it's going to get. And like I said, hurt people hurts others. That's why there's there's a huge problem on lonely men. Yes, there's women out there who has trust issues too, because men most of the time they dealt with a lot of men who would just use them for sex. And there's men who are pretending to be their friends just so they could sleep with them. A lot of women notice this. They're not stupid. They're not. Depending on the person, I no longer want to put myself in the position where I feel used, I feel played with, my emotions are stomped on the dirt, and then people knows that I want an actual genuine connection or actually just have a friend, someone to talk to. And there's people that roll with it and they take advantage of they take advantage of you, they take advantage of your situation, and they slap it back at your face after they're done with you. Like, here, I'm done. They're nowhere to be found. They're going cold turkey. They're acting funny with you. They're going ghost. They're keeping distance. I don't have the time for that foolishness. And you know what's messed up? In the past, I've had people not even a month, a week or two goes by, and they're like, "Oh, you're being very quiet lately. You're not talking that much." No crap, I'm not, because I'm tired. Why should I go out of my way to confront you on something that you know that you're doing wrong? I don't like doing that. The last time I did it was a turnoff, because that same person still kept doing the same thing that I corrected him on doing. It could even be a coworker. Lack of communication. They're still doing it, still showing lack of communication. I'm done. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. I'm done. There is no point in continuing to stab yourself in the back, hurt yourself, cry out victim, when you knew what it was the longer you stayed in that relationship or that friendship with that person. Okay? And I'm talking about friendships in general. I'm just keeping it real. Being a man out here, especially wanting an actual friend, it's hard. It's very, very difficult, because society has brainwashed and pushed that men could be strong and independent all by themselves because they're men. No, that is not true. We all, as men, genuinely want some type of connection. We want friendships. We want wives. We want to have companionship, people to talk to, people to socialize with. God made us as sociable creatures. So for people that says that they don't need nobody, they don't need friends, they're lying. They are a liar. It's possible because there's something called introverts, but at the exact same time, how long can you be an introvert? How long can you go on about without talking to no one at all? 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, months, even years? You isolate yourself completely away from society where there's no contact with nobody at all? It's just not possible. Who do you talk to when it comes down to customer service on the cash register? When you're going through checkout? Your local grocery store or a food market? Who do you talk to when you need to pay a bill online or you're having to troubleshoot your computer or your PC? We all need people for these things, and this is what creates connections. By communicating. Communication is key to connecting with one another. And if communication is cut off, the connections is cut off. Then you don't have nothing. We are human. We all value connections. This is how God made us. I yearn to connect with others. Even if I don't have no friends, a good morning, hi and bye, and just genuinely talking to my coworkers as acquaintances as well. Hey, that's fine with me. I'll take all those problems and frustrations to God. Because I have to be strong and tough during these times because so many men are continually going down the path of committing suicide and just deleting themselves altogether because they feel like they don't have nobody. They feel like they don't have nobody to talk to. They feel like they don't have a wife. They don't have a woman. And more men are single more than ever because of the scarce, toxic mindset on social media and society and what it brought in the dating market as a mess today. That could be saved for another topic. That could just be saved for another topic. Like I said, there's nothing wrong with valuing connection. Just admit it. You like talking to people. You like being sociable. And if you don't like it all the time, at least get it out of your system to know that there's people out there who would genuinely want some sort of connection, just someone to talk to. Why do you think psychologists and therapists exist? Why do you think that? Seriously. Take your time to think about this. That's all I gotta say, guys. Today, I take people's words, oh, you're a good friend, like a grain of salt because your actions should align with your words. I don't care if people calls me cold turkey or why you're so distant. I'd rather be a mysterious guy who watches the world behind the scenes and stay out of drama. I don't have the energy or time to give anyone anything or genuine connection if they're not showing that same effort in return. I'm not going to waste my time, and I don't think anyone else should. You are getting too old to having to waste your time on false hope, on some friendship that you think is an actual friendship, and it doesn't go anywhere. And they cut you off cold turkey or go ghost. I understand things happens. I understand people moves on and friendships and people falls apart. I understand. But if you're doing it on a daily basis or you're doing it often to where you're putting yourself in that position, it's just best to keep your distance. Lock your heart, keep it closed, and slowly open it to the right person or the right people who genuinely want to talk to you, who genuinely want a friendship out of it. It is hard to come by that today. And like I said, I pray for God to be with me. Even if I don't have a good friend, in the end of the day, I have my wife to think about and my kids as well. My wife is like my best friend and a good friend to me. But having other friends outside from her, it would be cool. It would be a lot better, especially for my wife as well. We're sociable creatures. This is how God made us. I'm just taking friends as they are. The word friends is being tossed around like it's nothing. And how the way this world is heading, and how the way it's going, friendships today that are actually meaningful is very, very rare to come by today, especially of the opposite sex. That's all I gotta say. Casual talk here. Peace out. Let me know what you think.